What's going on, guys? Anthony from Simple Tech Talk here, where I help you get the most out of your Android device. And on this video, we're going to talk about your camera and some of your camera settings. Now, whether you're using your phone as your main point and shoot camera every day or not, I'm going to show you how to really take advantage of what the phone can do for you and some of the settings and some of the tricks that I pay attention to when I'm doing any type of photography, whether it's a picture of my kids at the park, or taking a picture of my dog, or even taking pictures at the beach. Maybe you're going on vacation or something like that, and you want to really take advantage of what's in your hand right away. So I'm going to show you how to get into a couple of those settings and a couple of those things that you want to pay attention to when you're taking a photo with your smartphone. Let's get into it. All right, so I know a lot of you guys are used to seeing this background behind me, but for an example of the photos, I'm going to take a picture of one of my favorite setups that I have in my room. Is my Back to the Future pop doll. And as you see, I have the phone already set up, and what we're going to do is just go right into this phone and what this phone is viewing, and then we'll go directly from there. Let's go into it. All right, guys, so before I get into any of the tutorial stuff or any picture taking, what I want to show you first is that you have a few options along your screen. So first and foremost, you're going to see mode and you're going to see settings. And what we're going to do first, we're going to go right into your settings. So we're going to tap on settings, and then from there, what we're going to be able to do is view a few of the options that are here. Now there's a lot of options, and some of those options are going to be really helpful. Some of those options you don't really need to go into. Now, I'm not an expert on cameras, but what I do to get the most out of my cameras is really keep it simple. So UHD, QHD, FHD 60 frames per second, FHD, HD, and VGA. VGA here will give you the quality of your old box TVs that we used to have about 5-10 years ago, however long. Some people still have them. Now, I have mine set to FHD 60 frames per second. What that means is that I'm gonna get my 1080p, and with 60 frames per second, it's gonna be able to give me some nice slow motion rate, as well as some nice details. FHD without it, it's not a big deal if you lose it. The only difference here is going to be the amount of memory a video will take. Camera settings, tracking AF, you can leave that on or off. And all that means is auto-focusing while you're looking at a subject. If something jumps in the middle, it will autofocus and change what it's focusing to. So if something is in your background and that's what you're focusing on, and the subject changes to the foreground, it will automatically change for you. I like to have grid lines on. That's very helpful, and I'll explain that in a moment. Location tags, it just helps when organizing your photos digitally, whether you pay attention to Google Photos or not. Reviewing pictures, I don't necessarily do that. It does get in the way if you like to do burst shots. Quick launch, for Samsung phones specifically, you can double tap your home button and get right into your camera right away. Voice control is a lot of fun, especially when taking selfies, so I turn that on. Volume keys can double as taking your pictures, and you get some options. Record video or zoom. I leave it as taking pictures, especially if you're taking photos underwater. Again, if you're going on vacation, that's a quick pro tip. So we'll exit out of that. And now if you can see, first we have the tracking happening on Marty's face there. You can see right on his little face. Let's turn this light on for you guys. Get a little brightness happening. And you can see right away I've got the grid lines. They're going across the screen there. And what's really cool about those grid lines is when we're taking a photo, the focus is usually set along those grid lines. So maybe you want to have your subject here, and that makes your photo just a little bit more interesting. It doesn't have to be a Marty in a car, but you get the idea. So if you're taking a photo on vacation, maybe you want to have the ocean in the background and your main person along these grid lines. Now if we go back into mode is going to give you some really cool picture features. So let's see if we can do this right now with Marty up front. I'm going to tap on mode, and one of the biggest ones that I use all the time, selective focus. Now Android phones may vary, but on a Samsung phone, it's really fun. So you're going to take your picture, you're going to press on the photo, and you can see how it does a foreground and background. And now we're able to get a really cool picture. So we take one step back on the top right, go into the thumbnail. We're going to touch on this button dead center, and now we're going to see some options: near focus and far focus. And watch how that changes in real time. So that's called a bokeh effect, when you have the picture in the background have a blurred out effect. That's called bokeh. It's usually only seen on DSLRs, and a lot of the newer Android phones can handle it. Samsung has it built in inherently. Other phones, you're gonna have to download an application to make that work, as far as I know. But right back into it, those are a couple of settings that I would definitely use. Now, when we're taking a photo, you definitely want to make sure you're paying attention to a couple of things. So right now, Marty's feet are cut off in this photo. So there we go. Now we're going to take another picture of Marty, but we're going to remove selective focus. And that's something to keep an eye on. Selective focus will stay on until you go back. And I like to go into auto. You go into auto and you start taking that picture, and there you go. Now you have a regular photo of Marty. And if you tap on him, you might get a better focus, and then we can take a picture. Now you'll see a better focus. So again, we can tap onto the top thumbnail and see the difference in the photos. You can see there's a little bit of blur in his eye right there. We'll just get rid of that one. And then there goes our photos with the bokeh effect on or off. It's really a nice feature to be able to see that in real time. See that? That's an awesome pic. Another thing that I wanted to go over, guys, is these settings along the side. So if you see here on the bottom, you'll get a few options for picture size. I like to go with the widest 16 millimeter. You can see how it changes the image right away. I'll get a little extra on the sides. That's really nice. I mean, the 4:3 is pretty cool when you want to post directly to Instagram. You can see that. But once we switch to that 16:9, that's actually going to give us a nice widescreen right along the side there. It's going to be a really cool way to get your photos directly without having to manipulate them after the fact, so you get a nice widescreen shot. Another key tip that I would recommend, guys, when we're taking a picture, avoid this. Or taking a video specifically, avoid this. You get all that dead space up top and up the bottom, right? We take that picture and that's going to be pretty bleh. I don't even know how to say that. But once we rotate, it gives us a nice tight shot. We can actually go a little closer in on Marty and see a couple of cool things. And if we step back, we'll get more on the outsides there, so that way we can see a bit of what's going on in the background. That's a good tip that I would recommend, especially considering, you know, if you're going on vacation, you want to get more of the landscape usually is what we see. So that's one of my recommendations for sure. So that was just another tip that I wanted to add before closing out the video. Thanks again, guys. But first, let me take a selfie. So, all right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. It was a lot of fun making it for you guys, and take advantage of the cameras like I do. It's a lot of fun, whether you're taking a selfie or not. These things can really take your photography and just take what you're putting out there in your social media to another level, just if you pay attention to a couple of things. In another video, we'll go over a couple of applications that I definitely would recommend, especially if you're shooting video. I would recommend Open Camera. You can look into that application, and I'll definitely look into the application called Snapseed. That is the one that I recommend for some of my photography editing. And I never use the Instagram filters. Whatever you guys think on my Instagram page, I'm telling you, all of that is just photo editing before I bring it into Instagram. So #NoFilter. And if you haven't done so already, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace. But first, let me take a selfie. Hold on, guys, one second, just gotta, duck lips.